All right, so after the for the second part of the video, it's coming off of the new videos I'm going to be sending you, right, to insert. So after the videos are playing and such, which I will send you later, it should come back and say, you should start sketching in the narrator, right? Sketch the narrator in, and it says, now, as you could see, even with those examples having professional broadcasting technology, those angles and quality arguably failed in providing enough evidence for getting the call right. And believe it or not, most schools have much worse systems. What if you instead had access to Replay Review Live's POV cameras and software? And then basically I'll send you some more videos that you'll insert, right? So you'll insert some more videos. And then after those videos play, it'd probably be about a minute long, maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds long, I would say, roughly. Those videos will play. And then it'll come back into frame, right, sketch-wise. And it'll say, while the umpires are viewing the standard video angles, in a matter of seconds, a school staff member swaps out their POV cameras and plugs in the POV cameras to the tablet to the next to the video monitor. So that essentially means what you'll do is you'll basically sketch this video right here. So this video, or this not video, sorry, this sketch, or you'll draw this out again, right? Fuck. So boom. So you'll draw this, right? And so the only difference between this and the one that already exists, right, is this guy will have a camera right here, right on his chest in the middle. So he'll have a camera right there. This guy already has a camera up here. All right. And so basically you'll sketch the replay staff. You'll sketch the replay staff member. He should be wearing like royal blue. Okay, let's make him wear completely just regular royal blue shirt, and you can put him in beige khaki shorts if you'd like, and you'll sketch him in right here, and you'll have one camera in one hand and another camera in the other, right? So you'll have that camera in one hand and then the other camera that goes on the chest in his other hand, and there'll need to be some arrows being drawn to basically indicate that they're swapping cameras. So there needs to be like a little speech bubble, a little sketch title that says swap, so that everybody knows that they swap cameras. And there needs to be arrows going, whatever. And remember, he has to have one camera in one hand and another camera in the other for the replay staff member that's sketched in right here. Okay, so use this exact same photo or sketch, right? So once that happens, you'll sketch them in, and make sure you do that so that it's the same time as where it says, while the umpires are viewing the standard video angles, in a matter of seconds, a school staff member swaps out their POV cameras and plugs in. And so when it says, and plugs in the POV cameras to the tablet next to the video monitor, when it says that second part, it should switch to this part. It should switch to this screen right here, when it says, and a staff member will plug in to the POV cameras. And so when you get to this screen, this umpire right here will need to be placed on this side of the screen. Okay, so this little needs to be changed a little bit, where the umpire needs to be switched to this side of the screen. All right, and then so it should look like this, just so you know, right? It should look like right here. See how that's like he's on the right side? And if you can make it say replay on the back of his shirt, you can make it say replay. So you should sketch him in on the right, and then you should sketch in the second umpire on the left. Remember, this guy needs to be wearing a fanny pack. Remember, when you make that other, whenever you sketch this guy in, he needs to wear a fanny pack around the waist. Fanny pack around the waist. But anyways, when they say plug in that POV, you should sketch him in, and you should sketch him in trying to plug in. Like, you should have the tablet in one hand and the camera in the other. Or, sorry, tablet in one hand, and you should be plugging in a wire into the tablet. So into this tablet should be plugging in a wire when you sketch this little frame right here. Okay? Also, you need to make sure that whenever you draw this screen right here, so he's plugging into the tablet, this should be blank. The tablet should be blank and nothing on it. You can draw like if you can, I mean, we should probably just leave it blank actually. So yeah, leave it blank. And so then the umpires should be looking at the screen, right? And the screen, what should the screen look like? The screen should look like, you guessed it, it should look like this. So that should stay the same, right? So you're using this exact same screen, you're just moving the umpire to the left, right? And so you're using the same screen, and the umpire, when you're on this screen, the umpire should say, remember, this should be blank, the screen should be that, and the umpire should say, I don't have enough evidence. Remember, this guy was plugging in remember you sketched him plugging in the tablet, and then this guy should say in a speech bubble, I don't have enough evidence. Is there a better angle available? Question mark. That should be in a subtitle, or like, not a subtitle, but a speech bubble above him, and it should be very noticeable. So you should draw that, and it should be very noticeable. When should that happen? It says right here, and plugs in the POV cameras tablet next to the video monitor. We already went over that. Using the Replay Review Live app, they then scrub and find the perfect angle, and that sometimes is the only possible angle to be able to acquire enough evidence to confirm or change the call. And so during that time where it says using the Replay Review Live app, they then scrub and find the perfect angle, and what sometimes is the only possible angle to be able to acquire enough evidence to confirm or change the call. During that sentence, right, it should pop up, the speech bubble should say, I don't have enough evidence, is there a better angle available? And then that's when the replay staff right here, this gets drawn up. So draw this little screen, right? Draw it on the screen, right? Because remember, it should be a black screen with a wire, so now you should redraw it, and then this angle, of course, pops up, the one that you've already made, right? It pops up, and the replay staff says, I have the perfect POV angle. Or sorry, let's do, here's the perfect POV angle. I think that should be good, right? Here's the perfect POV angle. No, let's do this. I have the perfect POV angle. And so make sure it says that in the speech bubble above his head, right? And maybe somehow have the umpires like, maybe have some kind of indication that the umpires are like, yes. Like some kind of indication that like they're satisfied that they were able to find a solution to the problem, which is that camera angle right here. Maybe some kind of, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I'll text you later on it. But there's got to be some kind of indication. Maybe let it say, awesome. We now have IVE. So that would be a good one. So maybe there could be some kind of not subtitle, but sketch that says, awesome, we now have IVE. That's the letter I, the letter V, the letter E. So I.V.E. It's an abbreviation. So you can say, awesome, we now have IVE. You can put that as well. And again, that should be drawn in like speech bubble form, or kind of like how you did the standard replay and the Power 4 schools, like how you did that. Okay, great. So, and then you could say, and that's it. From there, the staff member plugs the cameras back into the charging dock, and the school can even elect to save their replay videos and even their stats to an accessible server. That right there can be very generic. I'm not exactly sure how to make that into a visual. There should be no more like really action scenes. You can do like maybe a little sketch of the umpires walking back to the field. You can do them walking back to the field, and then the replay staff stays there, and you can just have the replay staff like on the tablet, like have his head down on the tablet. That's fine. And then for the final part where it says, oh, and you know what the best part is? Our system is completely portable. No hard wiring, no Wi-Fi, just a quick 5-minute setup. And so when you can do that, you can do something pretty generic where maybe he is at a table, right? He's at the monitor. The replay staff member is at the monitor by himself. And he's kind of just has the cameras on the table. He has the fanny pack on him, or maybe he's putting the fanny pack on, like, no, probably not. He has the fanny pack on him, or maybe you can put the fanny pack on the table. You can put a little charging station, little square rotation, square little station with all the cameras on the table. And you can do something generic, like some kind of like clock or like efficiency kind of little logo where it says basically it's stressing that like it's super easy, super simple, fast setup. And then the next frame, the next scene, sketch, should be where it says, which means all your away games that normally have poor or no replay at all can now have replay. And that sketch should be a bunch of players with softball bags, right, carrying their softball bag, which are like backpacks. They're all carrying backpacks with bats, with baseball bats, or sorry, softball, with softball bats sticking out of the bats or out of the bags. So they got backpacks on, they got softball bats sticking out of their backpacks, and they're getting off of a bus. There's about four to five players getting off of a bus. The bus is like a big square bus. I'll send you a picture of what the bus should look like. There should be about 4 or 5 players getting off of the bus. There's bats sticking out of their backpacks that they're carrying, and they're all just walking kind of like in a line. Just getting just a little sketch of players getting off of the bus. 5 of them walking kind of like in a line, and that's it. Just getting off of the bus. And the bus should be like a square bus. Again, I will send you a picture of what that bus looks like. And that should be on all your away games that normally have poor or no replay at all can now have replay. And then, so just remember, it says right here, so just remember all of your close plays that stood or possibly were even rolled incorrectly, whether it was in the past or in the future, replay, review live, could have and will make all the difference. And so, What I would like for this final scene right there would be some kind of celebration of there should be a umpire in the middle of the field, basically giving a out call. Well, let's say safe call. Some kind of umpire in the middle of the field, and I'll send you a picture and videos of what this looks like, but he should be standing in the middle of the field, in between home plate and in between the pitching circle, with some players standing behind him. Again, I'll send you a picture of what that looks like. And basically he should be making the announcement, and there should be fans in the background, and like you should be able to see the fans and everything, and I bet everyone's like cheering that they got the call right. And basically he should say, after further review, the call in the field has been changed, the runner is safe. That should be the subtitle above his head. And again, I will send you a picture of what that looks like. But the point is that I would like the fans and everyone around to show exactly how much they appreciate Replay Review Live, or Replay, and basically excited that they got the call changed and that was right. And then obviously the last sketch is just a blank screen that says, visit Replay Review Live on thego.com to find out how affordable our system is, along with a ton of video examples and stats. And that's it. So I'll go more into detail. If you want, we can have kind of a Zoom call, because I know it's a little bit more, maybe it's probably roughly, it's just a little bit more of stuff. It's a little bit longer than part one was. Part one was a lot quicker. But yeah, just let me know, and appreciate you.